Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of your Daily Dose. We have a couple of things to cover today, but it is a refreshing update that I saw. I was like, so this is the nature of the game, and I'm not sad about it at all. If you haven't already checked it out, then you'll know now. Weekly packs got a facelift yet again. It was only a couple of weeks ago that they got additional generation 4 legendaries. They've skipped Gen 5 and gone straight into Gen 1, which is fantastic news for the majority of the community trying to get theirs to 7 star. Now, of course, if you're not already aware, Celebrate Festival actually gives you an option to buy 50 of these ones. If you have the gold, of course, it is 10k gold. But Celebrate Festival pops up 2 to 3 times a month, depending on the release schedule, but the frequency is around every 2 weeks. So you do have an opportunity to just go balls deep and grab the shards that way. But if you don't need 50 shards and you just don't want to wait, obviously getting the 35 shards here is a great option. Now, if you are smart about it though, and you really sit down and do the maths, and I didn't do that, I'm going to say it's probably in the ballpark of around 60k to get this one level up after 5 star. It's going to be pretty expensive, but at the end of the day, gold is, you need to spend gold. And if it's 60k to get another star and then maybe 90 to 100k to get another star, ultimately speaking, it's a free mythic because you should already be farming Demon's Rage, you should already be farming Siege, you should already be pushing your instances and doing your daily missions. And the game's pretty generous. But what I would recommend is not going too crazy on the weekly packs. Do it as an additional thing if you have leftover gold after an event, and particularly for those events that are like the ones we have, which are really gold dependent and might not actually give you anything of value. Going on though, you do now have an option to get the Heaven's Dragon if you haven't 7-starred these characters down here. Fantastic opportunity to get ahead of that. And more excitingly, they did throw in, it's only 10, but they did throw in all of these ones. So it is definitely a sign of the times, but you know what? That's not a terrible investment in terms of just 2k gold, especially if you are very, very close to getting some of these ones up to 7 star, or even if you're just building them in general. 2k gold for 10 shards a week isn't a terrible alternative for a free to play. Now, of course, keep in mind that eventually they'll have to upgrade Wishing Shop. They're going to have to include Generation 1 heroes here. Yep, it's gonna be a thing. So if you are not looking to go down the route of spending too much gold, just be aware in probably a month, I'd say, maybe even shorter, they are going to stick Gen 1s in the shop. I mean, I could be speculating on that. I feel like they are in the Korean version. There are some Gen 1s in there. I have a pretty good hunch that they're going to have to start selling the feathers as well as the Gen 1s, and of course, upgrade the transformation products as well. But let me know in the comment section down below, is there Gen 1s in Korean? Is there Gen 2s in Korean? I'd be excited to know for the Wish Shop, because after a while, you just don't really want to keep spending the stones because you just don't need to spend them. Except for, and I should always say this, if you are going to do it, make sure you buy Blooming Summer, buy New Year Look for the bonuses. Grab your stamina pills if you really, really want to. I would always recommend buying your Mythic Stones and getting your 5 selection packs. You will need a bucket load of those ones later on. Interestingly enough, a comment came up on Facebook about mythicizing these tactics. So you can, in fact, mythicize them up. However, you will get stuck. It'll get stuck at the last stage if it is a epic tactic, or relic, I should say. tactic relic. If you are looking to do that, you do need to ascend the relic to legendary before you can actually do the last stage and get it up to mythic. So, yeah, they won't let you skip a step, unfortunately. I would have liked that. That would have been fantastic. Just get rid of Ascension Stones. Although you are missing some statistics as you ascend, as you could probably tell, you get HP and attack, which is pretty worthwhile. Do I have any of these ones left? I don't. Ah, we're getting low. We're getting low. But like I said, make sure you buy those mythic stones every single day and do your Mount Dungeon, or you probably will regret it in a couple of months when you have the resources but you can't upgrade them. Now, moving on, we do, of course, have the last day of the Celebrate Festival. If you do not spend your currency today, you will lose it. It will disappear from your bag. Don't be that guy or girl and say, but nobody told me. Yes, we did. If you'd listened, you would know. Also, in your bag, it will come up with a warning saying event currency is expiring. Moving on to Transformation. Another disappointment here in Transformation. I'm not sure what they're thinking, but unfortunately, they have not decided to give us any of the Generation 2 outfits. The only way to acquire those at the moment is Arms Race, which kind of makes sense because that is their cash cow, and they are probably encouraging people to spend a little bit more on Arms Race. Because, like most videos, I do advise the best course of action for value, and I would probably say you could get away with doing some of your hero outfits in the transformation shop once you've got your first mythic transformation. I would always recommend never spending these ones. I mean, there are some exceptions to it, of course. I did do it on my shoe account because why not? It was one of those weird transformation events where you couldn't even buy anything. When you roll the dice and get a lucky charm off gold, do what you please. But generally speaking, I would say save your 6 charms up, grab your transformation. I probably would not recommend getting any of the current transformations out there. There are, of course, some pretty cool ones like Lu Su, Double Lu Su for Wu. Valiant Zhang Fei is always a nice addition to any Shu team. In fact, any team really benefits from him because he has an ability to essentially give everyone rage. He doesn't. You won't get Shu formation though if you do run him on a non-Shu team, but he has some pretty cool stuff. He basically gives and restores rage, 2 rage to 2 random allies. When allies use rage, the cast of this skill restores 2 rage up to 4 per round. So he can give everyone else some rage, but ultimately speaking, he is only for Double Shoe Nation. Wei Nation, I probably wouldn't recommend getting Puppet Shoe. He really isn't a standout for that nation, particularly in the form of a transformation. If you really want to go ballsy, I'd probably say Xiao Ji for her double ability to avoid, but she's getting replaced very, very soon. She's going to get replaced on this account with, of course, Xiao P, the newest Generation 4 for control. He's a must build for 99.9% of the nations, except for Warlord. Warlord, you can pick whatever you please. Which means if you went with Double Buddy UG, I mean, your evasion would skyrocket. Shadowbind is lethal for 1 round. Potentially hits 3 targets and prevents them from attacking, healing, or doing anything. It is very much a control and poison hero. And as you already know, the main protagonist has insane statistics, so eventually those transformations will start to stack in your favor. But in saying that, I probably would wait for Generation 4. We're really on the cusp of the release of Generation 4. We're about a month away, which means if you're patient, if you're patient and you've been saving up some of your stuff, like we have, honestly, I was only saving it up for the outfits. I'm not gonna lie. Like I just wanted some outfits, but it looks like the game is not going to give me any outfits, which means I'm going to have to spend some in Arms Race next. But that's okay. Don't save these transformation orbs. Go ham, spend them, and then just save whatever you get. For those that are curious, 160 paper charm shards equal 1 full paper charm, and like I said, you need 6 full paper charms to get a mythic transformation. Outfits are for those that have been playing for a very, very long time. And that is absolutely up to you, depending on what you would like to get. The legendary ones are pretty snazzy if you just want to look like a baller and go into it. They do have some pretty cool skills, and of course, they scale with the transformation abilities. So, we can probably talk about that in a minute. So, transformations themselves are indicative of your outfits. So, the way the star system works for your transformation is based on if you have the corresponding level of outfit. So if we go into our transformations, it'll say own two mythic activated outfits to unlock. And essentially, that means you need to have mythic outfits to get any of these upgrades. Three, of course, is the magic number. And once you get all three of the mythic outfits, you will get a beastly mythic transformation. Exactly the same for all the legendaries. You will need to acquire three mythic and three legendary and three epic. It's all about the outfits in this game, which means you don't really need to do it. Because honestly, legendary outfits, they look really good, but nobody runs legendary transformations. Because mythic transformations are the best ones because of their ultimate abilities. So at the end of the day, if you do want to get a mythic outfit for your paper charm shards, you're really only going to be doing it for the index score. And to be fair, the index score is decent. You get damage increase and of course damage reduction. I mean, Wolfhammer looks pretty beastly. Dragon Hair looks pretty nice too. I mean, I probably would get that for the girl character. And of course, Wolfhammer looks pretty cool on the guy character. But I mean, you're not really going to be using them, are you? And last but not least, I mean, this looks amazing on the girl character. But we're not spending $40,000 to acquire the VIP 18, at least not this year. Maybe next year we will balls deep on this account, but I think we'll have to see how the game goes before we go any crazier with the spending. I mean, we are slowly getting towards the Chinese and Korean server. Every month we keep progressing. Once Generation 4 and Generation 5 start to appear, I feel like a lot of players are going to reinvigorate their interest by building their mythic teams the way they like, not necessarily running full nations because the nation bonuses go out the window. But as I said, it is all in the future and we are excited about it. Moving on, I think if you are going to spend any money here, just know it is a massive gamble. Uh, I would only recommend spending the gold if you are very, very close to getting that last paper charm shard, and you can almost guarantee get it from your paper shards. If you don't know, every 20 spins gets you a guaranteed 12 paper shards. So that might help you if you are looking to get that last lucky epic charm. Also, I should probably state that the Star Karma chest here, and I wouldn't be spending any more. I know that 2 months ago this was like the bee's knees for progress, but now that you can acquire these chests for gold, I really wouldn't recommend spending your paper shards for that. As for your outfits, not worth it. Not really worth it. I mean, it pains me to say that, but it's not really worth it. You will get some pretty decent statistic bonuses, but you might as well just save your paper charm shards up for the Generation 2s if you haven't already got them. I feel like most players have already got Gen 1s of the ones they use. It's already a thing. It's kind of disappointing. But if you go absolutely balls deep whale mode and you don't want an outfit, you can always just like an actual outfit. You can actually just buy out all these ones, and they all stack up in your index score. Be a very very expensive, very very expensive, but it's worth it. It's worth it in that sense. Anyway, I think we can probably move along to the Annihilation event. Everybody knows about the lucky flip option. You do need 60 of these bad boy tokens. So if you haven't already made sure that you are doing your Warlords Clash every single day, because the missions will give you one free token. It all adds up. It all adds up. So make sure you're doing that anyway, just so you can get some free gold. Free training pills is very, very important. But essentially speaking, Annihilation event is a mad gamble. I think it's a 0.25% chance to get the gold axe. Yep, and it's a 0.1% chance, so it's like a 0.10%. So it's like 0.110%. Oh my gosh. It is really low. It is so low. I managed to get one on this account and I managed to get one on the newest True Nation account, which was fantastic. But the reality is you're just farming these for silver and meteorite axes. That's all you're doing is accumulating your meteorite. So we can go ahead and do a 10 bomb, give you a live example. If you're unlucky enough to get the bronze axes, my condolences. I seem to always get these ones as well. They should just remove it from the game because it literally, you even as a new player, that like I don't even think I even got many of them to make a difference when I was starting. Even on the Woo account, it really was just irrelevant. But if you are going to farm them, obviously you're going to get your meteorite. You can spend your gold if you want to. If you're close to obviously getting the 60 pulls, I would spend the gold just for that guaranteed pity system chest. But imperishable gear sets, I mean, that's where it's at, right? Most players know about imperishable gear set by now. Always try to run a two-piece set before before running a one piece on all your characters, like all the scythes and stuff, it will give you a slight damage increase, but the reality is you're running a broken set. You're better off just running a two-piece set and working through all your accounts, getting up to full sets before you transition into the next hero. And the main reason is so that you get a shield at the beginning of the fight, and at the full piece set, you actually get a little bit of a chance to do bonus base damage or healing. And of course, you do get an increase in damage and damage reduction, as well as crit and attack. It is worthwhile running a two-piece set if you want to tank your hero, but I would recommend running a full set on your DPS first. Of course, Vanquisher gear set is kind of one of those things where if you're at that stage of the game, probably don't spend on it. I would recommend grabbing these ones because, like I said, if you're at that stage of the game, you probably need your legendary weapons. So you should be getting those ones in their base form anyway, which is exactly what we will do. Silver axes go there. As we can probably surmise, they have not released the halberd. They won't do that for about a month and a half, I'd say. A month and a half. So if you have a playing catch-up and you want to buy your first mythic weapons, I would recommend spending on these ones before I went into imperishable gear set. The reason being is one of these mythic weapons is going to boost you significantly. Zaya's Charm, if it lets me show it, is a support. It's a support one, but it does stun quite a lot. I have noticed Lightning Curse is pretty good. It does stun quite a lot. I'll keep saying that. And of course, you'll need to read through this on your own time. But essentially speaking, it has different stages based on your HP. And the last bit is you can get resurrected. So being resurrected is not a terrible feat, particularly in raid boss and certain circumstances. And of course, that means that, you want to build it anyway, because the future of the game is mythic. We all know that. My recommendation, though, is get your Whale Slayer. Get your Heavenly Sword first. Stick this on your strongest Generation 2 hero. And watch them obliterate teams because they give 100 hatred. Now, of course, for those that are whaling deep and have already maxed out everything that they want to, which I think is highly unlikely, you can, of course, start to purchase one of these random G4 Mythic. I don't think that it's a fantastic investment, but like I said, if you're already at the stage where you have everybody, I mean absolutely everybody of your imperishable gear set at soul level 3, I don't even think there is a single player on all of the servers that has that on global. In fact, I'm 99% positive no one has. But if you were one of those rare ones that we don't know about, obviously go in and get your mythic gear. But that's the last resort, the last resort. Anyway, what I think I need to do for this account is assess whether or not we are close to getting another full set. So we have 10 of those and 59 shards. By the end of the event, we should probably have close to 75-ish shards. Maybe it would be worth getting to 60. Maybe it would be worth getting to 60 to see if we can get that. I mean, it is this crap shot, right? But I mean, if we have like close to 85 shards, we only really need to get one of the two jackpots. Bit of a gamble, bit of a gamble. Which kind of leads me into the next part is if you want a guaranteed, make sure you're doing a glory haul. All you need to do is every time that it resets every couple of days, and this is absolutely all that I do, is I just go all the way up to 6 and I get my treasure map and I get the guaranteed, and then we reset the treasure map. That's really all I do. I feel like a lot of players, if they know that they're going to get stuck later on, that's a good tactic. Take advantage of that every time it resets. If anyone's curious about what I mean by reset, I mean by here, you'll get a mission available on Thursday, which resets your glory haul. And of course, that means that you have chances of getting the jackpot. And the jackpot is cool because you get some free shards. Free shards every couple of weeks isn't a bad alternative. Now, of course, if you are looking for the premium of value component of this, stretching away from the free to play element, this here package is the best one. You get 35 every 7 days. I would recommend buying that if you are looking to get the shards, or if you're very, very close to finishing off your shards, you might be able to buy a couple of these dollar packs and get it that way. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it in a nutshell. We've covered the event, we've covered 99.9% of all that stuff. What we can do is, if I remember correctly, if the game doesn't kick me out, where are you? I swapped everyone over recently, after Denial showcased his ultimate. What was that guy's name? War God. He went all balls deep in War God, so I thought, you know what, he got some good results. I want to get this guy ranked up a little bit further, but I'm happy that we managed to get his accessory done. I'm happy that most of his stuff is on the way. It's on the way to getting it sorted. I do need to invest in more glamour charms to get that to mythic, but no rush there. Unfortunately for the training thing, it capped out. It won't let me advance any further, which I think means that I'm stuck between star rank Titan Hero unlock level. I think it's like 160. No, it must be 180 or 170. I'm level capped. It's blocking me and it sucks. But anyway, that's enough of that conversation there. What I was looking to do was get this one. Here we go. So I wanted to level this one up. So if anyone's curious, it's going to cost a lot of these legendaries. You're going to need to collect so many of these legendaries. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? I don't know if the answer to that is yes. I think you just have to do it. But I just wanted to show you, even after you get to the grade, after you get to grade 4, to get to grade 5, you still need to be farming this stuff. Okay, so don't stop farming it. You still need to be farming in legendary tactics. Obviously, it is a farm game. It's certainly a farm game, but for those that are curious, you do need to keep going. You still need to be saving these things up. I'm like, yeah, finally we're at the end of it, and then I realized no, we're not, because I already did this one to Mythic anyway. So I'm like, oh no, PB. But anyway, I think everybody should be aware of that. Make sure you're spending and doing your tactics every single day and grabbing as many of those legendary books. It will save you such a headache in the end, because I kind of, I did stop doing it. I stopped getting them. I was like, oh yeah, no, we'll be fine. She'll be right. And then I started realizing, oh crap, we actually need to get more of them. I think I actually max purchased them. Yep. There you go. So already max purchased those books. You don't really need to spend on these ones, particularly if you are in the top 10. should I say top 50, not 10. Once you get into the top 50, you'll pretty much grab the majority of these selection chests. Top 50 is around 30, which is pretty much what I get every single time. So you don't necessarily have to spend every day on those ones, but you do need to buy those legendaries. Trust me when I say that. All right, let me know in the comment section down below if you have any questions. Jump into our Discord and link in the description box below. I'll see the OGs in the chat section and, of course, on Facebook. Don't be shy, say hello. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, and, of course, hit that notification button. Do so for the next upcoming events. Catch you all in the next one.